Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black gloss. I'm wearing an orange t-shirt with my new logo on it. Pretty cool, right? And I'm sitting in my office with a few colored lights behind me. And just quickly before we get onto today's topic, this shirt's available in less loud colors than this orange, just in case you were wondering. But in this video, we're going to have a look at a really cool update that's come out for the Tesla iOS app in the last few days. So it's now August 21st. If you update the Tesla app to the latest update, and make sure that you download an app called Shortcuts onto your iOS device if you haven't got it yet. So any Apple devices, download Shortcuts. And what this allows you to do is you can now control your Tesla with Siri, the personal assistant on Apple's devices. It is a little bit limited, but it's still pretty cool. So let's jump into the Shortcuts app and let me show you how this works. So this is what the Shortcuts app looks like. And I can just scroll down to where it says T, and there are the Tesla options. But in case for some reason yours don't show up, and I actually had this issue this morning where I just couldn't find the Tesla stuff in here at all, and I had to actually turn my phone off and turn it back on. But you can just type in Tesla in that search bar, and you can see towards the top right hand corner there's a thing that says See All. So you tap on See All, and that shows you all of the Tesla options that you have. Now also, it does show you to talk to Tesla, hold the Siri button and thing, and you have to activate that. So you see where it says that in blue? You have to tap on that just to make sure that you've activated it, and give it a minute or so for it to think about what it needs to do. So here are the things that you can get Siri to activate for you on the Tesla. So you can lock and unlock, you can start preconditioning. By the way, I think that's just the aircon and the heating. That's not, you can't precondition the battery to prepare for charging like it does for a supercharger. Enable disable sentry mode, enable disable dog mode, open and close the charge port, start and stop charging, open the boot, close the boot, open the bonnet. Now you notice that it says bonnet, not trunk and frunk. That's because not everyone lives in North America and speaks English in the world. I know, it'll come as a shock to some of you, but there you go. Unfortunately, also, it appears that the open and close boot or open and close frunk options don't seem to be working for most people, and most people, unfortunately, includes me. So let's not do those ones first. Let's do some of the other ones, and I'll show you just how simply and easily this all works. So something as simple as lock or unlock. So, hey Siri, lock Tesla.
Blue flame locked.
Now, car was already locked, so I probably should have done the unlock. So, hey Siri, unlock Tesla.
Blue flame unlocked.
Doo-doo. And I just heard it in the drive. I go doo-doo. And then, hey Siri, lock Tesla.
Blue flame locked.
Could do it all day long. But the nice one is actually the preconditioning is quite useful. So let's start that one. Hey Siri, start preconditioning Tesla.
Started preconditioning blue flame.
And now if we just jump into the Tesla app, you can see there that preconditioning has started and the climate control has been switched on. Actually, I wonder if I do it from within here. Hey Siri, stop preconditioning Tesla.
Stopped preconditioning blue flame.
And there you go. It has been switched off in the app. So that's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, as I said, the boot one, which is probably the most convenient, is the one that doesn't seem to work. So, hey, close Tesla boot. Oh, no, sorry.
I can't help with that.
Yeah, I know you can't help with that because it's closed already. Hey, Siri, open Tesla boot.
Boot opened on blue flame.
So you see, it says that it's done it, but you can see in the app that it isn't actually open, because if it was open, it would show up in the graphic there. Because if you have a look, if I go into controls here and I say open, you can see it animates down there at the bottom and it shows that it's open here in the menu. And if I try to close it, hey, close boot on Tesla.
Boot closed on blue flame.
And I think that's actually a quite a problem actually, because it doesn't say, oh, I couldn't do it. It says it's done it, but it hasn't. So hopefully there's going to be an update coming in the next couple of days or whenever, so that when that says it's working, it will actually work. Now, all the other commands do seem to work. The opening the port, closing the port, aircon, dog mode, sentry mode, they all work. Like, hey, turn off sentry mode on Tesla.
I don't see an app for that. You'll need to download one.
So you see, you also need to be quite specific with saying the phrase correctly. So the phrase is disable sentry mode. So let's try that again. Hey, Siri, disable sentry mode on Tesla.
Sentry mode disabled on Blue Flame.
And there you go. You see in the app that it has turned it off. Hey, Siri, enable sentry mode on Tesla.
Sentry mode enabled on Blue Flame.
And there we go. It's turned on. So all the other commands seem to work except for the boot. The bonnet or frunk does work. So of course, the thing that you can open and then you can't use technology to close it unless you've installed a third-party opening closing thing does work, but the one that you can open and close. So it's a shame because the boot one / trunk one is the one that I think I would use most often. And here's the really cool part about the potential of what this is in Shortcuts, because Shortcuts is actually an automation app. So Shortcuts allows you to do this thing called if this then that. There was an app called the if this then that, which is also a really cool app, but Shortcuts lets you do it as well. So you see, if you tap in the middle there, you've got automation. You can create automation. So for example, if I wanted to create an automation with the Tesla shortcuts here, I would tap and hold. I could tap on the little 3 buttons there in the top right hand corner of any of the icons, and that gives me these options. Or I could just tap and hold on the one that I want. So I'm going to start precondition. I can say use in new shortcut. So tap that and it goes start preconditioning if. So I can say if, and you can select a whole bunch of different things that are happening. So for example, I could set a time, but also I could go into my home, and this is all the home automation stuff that you have or that you can set up. So we've got a home lock, and I could have it so that condition is, and choose and say variables is unlocked. So as soon as my door unlocks, the preconditioning on the Tesla will start. Now, that one doesn't really work with the lock, but if I had, now, so the automation in the Home app, and I'm not going to get too deep into this because we could go very, very deep into it, but in the Home app, you set up a thing called a scene. And a scene means, this happens, then this happens, that. It's like one of those machines where, balls drop in and all that. Anyway, so what you could set up potentially here is you could set up a scene in your house that says when my alarm goes off, or you could just wake up in the morning and say, hey, she who will not be named, I'm awake. And that one command to your HomePod in your bedroom sets off your curtains opening and your lights turning on, but only to 50%, and your kettle starts up because that's on a smart electrical thing. And now you could add your Tesla into that automation whole story, where at the same time, then preconditioning starts. So, we're not there yet, and you can see that it adds it to all of the shortcuts that I've got set up here. We're not there yet, but the potential of this is pretty cool. And again, if the darn boot thing was working, you could add that to your home screen. So you see how I've got a bunch of stacks in the top right hand corner of my screen, and I can just flick between those different stacks, but I could add a shortcut to this. So if I tap and hold on that stack and say edit stack and click on the plus, tap on the plus in the top left hand corner, you've got all these apps that you can add to it. And very important with this, don't search for Tesla, because that's going to add just the Tesla widget. And if anyone from Tesla is listening, it'd be nice if we had a bit more options here in the widget. Like for example, if we had a power wall, if we could add that to that widget, that'd be pretty cool. So what you actually need to do is search for shortcuts, and it will show you the topmost shortcut in your list of shortcuts. So there's my preconditioning shortcut, and I could add that widget to my widget stack. And now I can quickly just flick up and go precondition. Now you might go, so what? That's not really adding that much. But let's have a look at how many steps it is to, let's say, open the boot, as opposed to, so with this, I'm on here, I go flick up, tap, it opens the boot. Okay, so flick, one tap. If I want to open the boot just through the app, I've got to tap on the app. Now it's in a folder, so we'll ignore that. We'll say tap on the app, scroll down a little bit, tap on controls, and then tap on open boot. So look, I appreciate it's like, what, like one more tap, and then you wait for something, but it would just be quicker to be able to do it through the widget. So you see, hopefully, some of the possible potentials of this now that we have some Tesla stuff in the Siri shortcuts. I think, again, it's not there yet, but even with this, there's some cool potential, and I think it's gonna just get better and better from here. So if you've got some cool ideas in terms of what Tesla could do to add more functionality and add more options to things that we could add in here, or even with what's in here, some shortcuts and automations that you've got ideas for, let me know down in the comments. I think there's some pretty cool potential here. Yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been useful. If you have found it helpful, if you have found it useful, please like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. Oh yeah, I turned Wi-Fi off. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I turned you off, you turning off thing. No? Disconnecting from nearby Wi-Fi. Still, okay, so it's just showing that. So let's try that again. What you can, how do I get out of this? No, I don't want to do it. Just go done. Okay, then let's, no, I want to delete, hold, yep, delete. Shortcut will be deleted from all, oh no, okay. Oh god, oh what have I done? Access data stream via local network, no remote, what? What? Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to actually play with this before we do it. Boot opened on Blue Flame. No, bloody isn't. Let's scare Mandy.
Hi.
That was me, sorry! I'm such a child. Okay, serious. Okay.